The real estate industry is changing at lightning speed, but who's winning, who's losing, and why? Today, we're diving into the hidden truths behind revenue share at EXP Realty, Real Brokerage, and LPT Realty. We'll reveal the controversial buffering tactics that limit agent earnings, unpack the dramatic leadership shakeups that are changing in Real Brokerage's future, and discuss why industry titan Gary Keller just sold a massive stake of Keller Williams. Is this a sign that traditional brokerages can't keep up? And why are cloud-based brokerages rapidly becoming the new kings of real estate? Buckle up, baby. You're about to find out.
Welcome to the Adam Kurz Show.
All right, welcome everybody to today's podcast, where we're going to delve into the intricate dynamics of cloud-based real estate brokerages. We're going to focus on EXP Realty. We're going to focus on Real Brokerage and LPT Realty. We'll explore their revenue share models, financial performance, leadership changes, and the broader implications for the future of real estate. So let's begin. First, come on, the elephant in the room. Let's chat about Keller Williams and their recent big move. But we're not going to spend a ton of time here because I want to go back to what I was talking about a little while ago. Just this March, right now, 2025, Keller Williams Realty announced a significant strategic partnership with a private equity firm, Stone Point Capital. Now, the move marks a very notable shift for the company, which has previously maintained staunch independence. Okay, they've always prided themselves in that sort of independence. As a part of this partnership, though, Stone Point Capital has acquired a substantial stake of Keller Williams. Though the exact percentage of ownership has not been publicly disclosed because they don't have to, believe it or not, they're not publicly traded. Gary Keller, the company's co-founder, will continue to serve as an executive chairman and retain significant ownership of the interests. Now, the decision to sell a majority share appears to be driven by the desire to accelerate growth and innovation within the company. Gary Keller emphasized that this partnership aims to enhance the company's ability to expand, innovate, and deliver greater value to franchises, agents, and their clients. He stated, quote unquote, "We've built an incredible foundation, and as we focus on each agent's personal development and their continuous sales growth, we welcome this partnership and the backing from the team of Stone Point Capital." Now, this was off a site turn search, by the way. Industry reactions to this development have been super mixed. I know what my initial reaction was. I thought, what does he know that the rest of the real estate community does not know? Why is he selling out? Is this an exit for Mr. Gary Keller? Now, some view the partnership as a strategic move to bolster Keller Williams' position in a very competitive market, being increasingly influenced by technology and innovation. Others speculate that it may be a response to the challenges posed by emerging cloud brokerages, like the ones we're going to be discussing today, and shifting industry dynamic. For instance, there was a Facebook video that discusses whether this move is a way for Gary Keller to take chips off the table or as a strategy to remain relevant amidst all this new competition. Now, additionally, the partnership includes the appointment of Christopher Czarnecki as the new president and CEO of Keller Williams. Czarnecki brings over 20 years of real estate industry experience and is expected to focus on expanding the company's capabilities, ensuring agents and franchisees have the best platform to succeed. Overall, the strategic partnership signifies a pivotal moment for Keller Williams, aiming to leverage external investment to drive future growth and maintain a competitive edge in the evolving real estate market. I'm going to show you some things because I dove deep, right? And one of the things that we wanted to really look at was, first of all, the announcement of their strategic partnership. And I started to think to myself, why would Gary do something like this? And then I went and dug a little bit deep. And just this February, just last month, Gary Keller's on Real Estate News being quoted at Keller Williams Family Reunion saying that we're in a drought, but a reset may be coming. And as you read through this, he talks about tariffs and everything that's happening, what opportunities will come up for buyers, but he talks about climbing out of the trough and solving the problem of real estate. He talks about how 2023 and 2024 were tough years, and this year is looking a little bit better, but still sluggish. So I started to think to myself, is it possible that Keller Williams is not really that prepared for a long-term struggle? Because he admits in this article that this could take 3-4 years to climb out of, right? This is not a quick fix. And we know that real estate is cyclical, and whatever we're going through right now, we're going to see it for a couple more years, right? And then I started to think, I started to see some videos, right? And these videos are like talking about how the most billionaire companies, they don't even own a large percentage of the company. Why is everybody messing with Gary Keller? He sold a part of his company. Elon Musk only owns a small percentage, and Jeff Bezos only owns a small percentage. So I went and I dug, right? And you're right. Elon Musk only owns 12.8% of Tesla. However, he is the largest stakeholder. That means he owns more stock than anyone else put together. Okay. Then I went to Amazon, and Amazon's founder, Jeff Bezos, executive chairman and former CEO, remains the largest stakeholder, once again, at only 9%. So even though he only owns 9% of the company, he's still the largest stakeholder. He still owns the majority share. And so then I went to EXPI and I said, well, who owns the majority share? And it turns out it's not who you think it is. The majority shares are owned by BlackRock, Vanguard, Pacers, Copeland Capital. Those are the majority shareholders. Those are the top institutional holders at EXP. So I said, okay, because I got to put my attention, right? Tesla's one thing, Amazon's another thing, but we're talking real estate brokerages here. So then I said real estate at Real Brokerage. It's not who you think it is, not the founders, okay? It's Insight Holdings Group, Magma Venture Partners, BlackRock again, right? BlackRock owns everything, by the way, okay? And then I said, okay, well, who's Insight Holdings Group? Who owns them? Maybe I said, this is like a name that owns a name that owns a name, and the founders of the company are them. Nope, this is a investment group out of New York, primarily, okay? Then I said, who owns them? And it says, and I went even further, and it says, well, they're owned by Insight Partners Public Equities Master Fund. And so I said, well, who owns that? And then that went to Jeff Horing and Jerry Murdoch. And when you go to find out who the founders and owners of Real Brokerage were, the founders were Tamir Peleg. He's the founder and CEO. Nowhere to be found when it comes to majority shareholders. So this is where we get into the real estate piece, right? Because, I see these videos and these reels and these things coming out going, guys, you don't pay attention to that because these publicly traded companies, the stocks get diluted. And you're right, 100%. Stocks get diluted. A lot of money is raised, a lot of capital is raised, but the majority shareholder still remains the people who found the company, right? But those are different things. Now we come to the real estate side of business, and I go, all right, who owns it? I went to Compass, great company, right? Refkin, the owner, Robert Refkin. As of December 31st, 2024, Vanguard Group is the largest shareholder at Compass, holding over 67 million shares. SB Investment comes in second, FMR in third, and here we go again, BlackRock at fourth, right? And so I said, who owns LPT Realty? Robert Palmer. Okay, but I know what you're going to say, Dave. You're talking about publicly traded companies, and LPT Realty is not publicly traded yet. They have full intention of going public, but it is still a private company, and you're right. And up until today, I could say that as far as we know, truth is consistent that Robert Palmer is still the only investor at LPT Realty, has taken no outside money, no angel investors, and his commitment is that the first time he ever takes any money will be in a Wall Street raise, right? And that's going to be to go public. He also mentions that he intends to stay the majority shareholder so that he maintains autonomy and decisions for the company, which I personally think is a really big deal, right? And so then I went to go think to myself, and you guys are thinking, okay, but these videos that I saw with Keller Williams comparing to Amazon, okay, was no comparison, by the way. I said, well, are there any real estate brokerages that are publicly traded that founders own the majority percentage of the shares of the company? And of course, I did my ChatGPT deep dive, right? And it says, identifying a publicly traded real estate brokerage where the founder remains majority ownership is uncommon. In many instances, as companies go public, founders' ownership stakes are diluted due to the issuance of shares to public investors. For example, Compass is a prominent real estate brokerage, is publicly traded, but its founder, Robert Refkin, only holds 2.1% ownership, with the largest shareholder being SoftBank Vision Fund at 30.1%. This is according to Wikipedia, okay? February 26, 2025. Similarly, Engel & Volkers, a global real estate company, has majority ownership held by a private equity fund of Primaria, with the founder, Christian Volkers, having stepped down from any executive roles. Okay. In case of Newmark Group, founded in 1929, the company was acquired by BGC Partners in 2011, taken public in 2017, while Howard Lutnick, CEO of BGC Partners, plays a significant role in Newmark's growth. He does not hold a majority ownership stake. Therefore, it appears rare for founders to maintain majority ownership. And I said, well, why is it so rare? And it said, number one, dilution of ownership through IPO. Number two, capital needs for growth. Okay. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's not a lot of money in real estate brokerage ownership. It's just, there's not a lot of money there. Brokerages are expected to do so much for their real estate agents, and real estate agents expect to be paid 100% in most cases. And so when you see that, you got to understand there's not a lot of money in a real estate brokerage, right? There just isn't. Number three, institutional investor influence. Here it goes. Institutional investors, venture capitalists, private equity firms, hedge funds, often invest with conditions, including acquiring larger stakes or board positions. Founders frequently sacrifice majority ownership to secure these essential partnerships. Founder liquidity. Founders often seek liquidity events to realize their investment returns or personal wealth. Selling a significant portion of their shares during an IPO or subsequent offerings is common, reducing their majority holding. One thing that we're blessed with at LPT, and I'm not making this an LPT video, but the one thing that we're blessed with is we were founded by a billionaire who's self-funding this entire company. So I don't know that he's be looking for founder liquidity. I'm sure at some point he's going to want to become a multi-billionaire, right? But he wants to maintain majority ownership. So let's see where that goes, guys. I'm with it. Governance and control. Publicly traded companies often have corporate governance structures and shareholder expectations that discourage or limit majority founder control. Investors typically prefer diversified ownership to balance between decision-making and risks. Then, of course, there's market perception and valuation. Investors may have majority founder controlled public companies are riskier, believing concentrated control might limit objective decisions making or transparency. Diverse ownership usually signals a balanced, professionally managed company, making shares more attractive. Okay. So I went in and I go, all right, so what's up with Keller Williams? And I said, is Keller Williams publicly traded? And they said, no, Keller Williams is not publicly traded. So again, why are we making videos comparing KW to publicly traded companies? Okay. And it goes on to really, really dig in deep on why this happened to begin with. I'm really interested and I want to see what happens and what comes out of this in the future, right? Now, let's get into EXP revenue share, buffering, and financial overview, right? So now let's talk a little bit about this. Let's get into rev share. EXP Realty offers a revenue share program that allows agents to diversify their income. And by the way, EXP is like the godfather of this, right? Everyone else that's come out has tried to create some sort of variance of what EXP created. And so the model provides a financial buffer during slower months, ensuring agents have more stable income stream, right? I always say to people, if you build a great revenue share stream at your real estate company, how much more fun would it be to sell real estate, right? Like if your client's deal doesn't go through and it's okay with you that it doesn't go through because you didn't need that commission to pay your mortgage because your revenue share was taking care of your lifestyle, how much more fun would selling real estate be? You probably sell so much more real estate, believe it or not, right? Because you'd be having fun doing it. Sponsoring agents have been a vested interest in the success of those introduced, fostering a collaborative environment. So financial performance, let's talk about this real quick. Q4 2023, fourth quarter 2023, EXP Realty reported a revenue of $983 million, contributing a full year revenue of $4.3 billion. Okay. Q4 2024, the company saw an increase with Q4 revenue reaching $1.1 billion and full year revenue totaling $4.6 billion. Great. They ticked up a little bit there. Now, 2025 outlook for them. While specific projections for 2025, honestly, it can't be detailed enough in the available sources that we have. The upward trend in revenue suggests that it would have a positive trajectory for EXP. Now let's get into real brokerage. Leadership transition, first of all, right? And revenue share analysis. So March, same time that Keller Williams decided to sell off a majority share of their company, Real Brokerage announced a significant leadership change with Sharon transitioning from president to a position on the company's board of directors. So he stepped down as the president. And this is going to be effective June 1st, 2025. The move is described as strategic, intended to ensure continued focus on agent success and industry innovation. Now, Mr. Sharon, known for advocating strongly for agents, will specifically represent agents' interests from the board seat, ensuring the company's continued commitment to agent-centric policies. This is according to Real Estate News, March 12, 2025. CEO Tamir Poleg emphasized that this move is a thoughtful, structured transition, acknowledging that Sharon's critical role in shaping Real's culture and growth, okay? While positioned publicly as planned and amicable, the timing and the contexts raises questions about investor influence as the company faces rapid expansion and increased scrutiny of its revenue sharing process. But why? So let's dig into that. See, Real Brokerage is expanding, but Real Brokerage is also suffering a little bit, okay? Real Brokerage has notably altered its revenue share model over recent years. Initially, agents had to refer 10 agents to qualify for second-tier revenue sharing. This requirement has been relaxed, enabling quicker tier advancement and easier revenue share generation for agents. The adjustments were positioned to remain competitive against models like EXP Realty, which offers aggressive revenue share incentives. This is all based on Real Estate News. This is September 6, 2023, right? Now, financial performance analysis. I want to talk about this for a minute, and you're going to see something here, okay? Q4 2023 revenue was approximately 181.3 million, with 6.8 million distributed in revenue share. Okay. Remember those numbers. Revenue for the company was 181.3 million. 6.8 million of that was distributed in revenue share. Applaud everybody. Q4 2024. A year later, revenue significantly increases by 93%. Goes up to $350.6 million. Yet, revenue share payouts only rose by about 39% to 9.5 million. Let me stop for a second. I want to repeat this. Revenue goes up 93%, but revenue share with their agents only went up 39%. This disproportionate, sorry, my tongue is everywhere, right? Increase indicates that although total revenues have surged, the percentage allocated towards revenue sharing has notably decreased. Now, this raises some critical discussion points. Why has revenue share not increased proportionately with the company's revenue? Are structural changes or strategic shifts impacting agent earning potential? And how do these changes align with the company's stated mission of prioritizing agents? Here, I'm gonna put my glasses on because I got a ton of notes and I got to get in here, and you're gonna see the reflection, and that's okay, guys. All right, I'm sorry, it's what I got. Oh man. So these shifts suggests Real Brokerage might be restructuring its financial model towards greater profitability or reinvestment into infrastructure, potentially at the expense of a short-term agent revenue share distributions. This is from Business Wire, by the way. I'm not just making this stuff up. Business Wire, March 6, 2025 came with that. Let's go over the revenue shakeups and examples. Real estate or Real Brokerage offers revenue share payouts based on tiers. If an agent directly sponsors another agent, tier 1, they can earn up to 5% of the Real's proportion of every closed transaction. For instance, an agent sponsored at a $12,000 annual cap generates up to $4,000 in revenue share for the sponsor after earning $80,000 in gross income. However, Real implements a significant monthly payout cap. No more than 60% of the company's total monthly revenue can be distributed as revenue share. This means that if the monthly payout obligations to agents exceed the threshold, payouts are proportionately reduced. Essentially, higher earning agents may face fluctuating revenue share payments, reflecting this internal buffering system, ensuring Real maintains profitability, but potentially limits agents in their maximum income potential. Now, this was a problem at EXP before. This was a conversation that a lot of people on the higher ups were talking about. The people who are earning the most would see themselves getting taxed from the company, and this tax became known as the buffer. Then EXP recently came out and said, here's RevShare 2.0, right? RevShare 2.0, a decade later, of course, right? And so in 2.0, at first, people were a little bothered with the change, but guess what? It solved the buffering issue. Real doesn't look like they intend on solving the buffering issue. Or maybe it was Sharon stepping down as president to put somebody else in place that is going to help organize and restructure this so that they can keep their word about being agents first. Now, here's some critical discussion points we're going to go through. Number 1, revenue share not keeping pace with revenue growth. The most notable observation is that while Real Brokerage's revenue surged 93% in Q4, from Q4 of 2023 to Q4 of 2024, going from 181.3 million to 350.6 million, revenue share payouts only increased about 39%, from 6.8 to 9.5. This significant gap raises concerns amongst agents about fairness, about transparency in how profits are actually shared. It invites scrutiny about whether structural changes to the revenue share tiers or caps have indirectly limited agent earnings, allowing the brokerage to retain a larger portion of its increased profits. Impact of revenue share adjustment on agents. See, Real Brokerage recently simplified its revenue share requirements, lowering barriers for agents to qualify for higher tiers. Initially seen as beneficial, deeper analysis suggests that changes might have unintended consequences, potentially diluting the value against agents received by spreading payouts over more agents or setting limits on individual earnings. This could lead to dissatisfaction amongst top performing agents who previously benefited from higher rewards. Now, this leadership transition, was it planned or investor driven? See, the transition of Sharon from president to a board member position in June of 2025, which is coming up here soon, appears to be well structured, publicly presented as an opportunity to maintain strategic oversight and continue advocating for agents. However, considering recent financial shifts, it raises speculation about whether investor pressures or financial targets influence this decision. Such a move might indicate internal disagreements on strategic direction or dissatisfaction from investors regarding profit allocation between agents and corporate earnings. Corporate strategy shifts and agent morale. Well, given the company's evolving model, the apparent decrease in the percentage of revenue returned to the agents might reflect a strategic realignment toward prioritizing corporate profitability and long-term sustainability over immediate agent payouts. Now, while I think that's important, it also is a big bummer for some of these agents that expected higher payouts. And while such strategies can position the company strongly in the long term, short-term agent morale and trust may be compromised, potentially risking attrition of higher performing agents to competitors offering more transparent and lucrative sharing models. And then there's comparison of industry implications. Compared to its competitors like EXP Realty and LPT Realty, Real Brokerage's apparent tightening of revenue share, even amid substantial revenue increase, may negatively affect its market perception. Competitors openly criticize such buffering strategies, positioning themselves as more agent-centric alternatives. Real Brokerage will need to carefully manage its messaging and justify these financial decisions clearly and transparently to retain agents' trust and have a competitive edge. This deep dive into Real Brokerage's recent shifts helps clarify the implications of their decisions. It emphasizes the importance of their transparency and agent satisfaction while maintaining trust within their revenue share program and the framework. Now, let's talk about the future of real estate in the cloud brokerage. First of all, before we get to that, I do want to say that this podcast is very much sponsored by the Freedom Achiever Academy. My name is David Adam Kurz, and as a coach, I created the Freedom Achiever Academy, which is a baseline community with over 300 coaching and training videos. Now, right now, if you go right now and you register for the Freedom Achiever Academy at freedomachieveracademy.com, you'll be able to get in for $9 a month or $90 for the year, getting 2 months free. Here's the deal though. In May, we're going to raise the prices. Yes, we are going up to $49 a month. Right now, it is $9 a month. And if you come in at $9 a month, you get grandfathered in at $9 a month for as long as we keep putting videos on there and you keep learning and enjoying and growing. Now, cloud-based real estate brokerages have fundamentally reshaped the industry by leveraging innovative technology to replace traditional brick and mortar operations. This model has proven exceptionally successful and continues to thrive due to the severe critical factors. First of all, cost and efficiency and profitability, right? Cloud brokerages eliminate substantial overhead. And I'm giving you this information in case you're wondering, why is the cloud brokerage here? They eliminate substantial overhead associated with physical offices. Think about that, such as rents and utilities and office supplies and administrative staffing, things that companies like Keller Williams will never be able to get away from. There will never be cloud KW because franchises, it's a franchise, and the franchise owners have locations and they have stability and they have that kind of presence. And so if cloud brokerages becomes more and more and more and continues to grow positively, KW struggling, which is probably why they want to raise all this money now. How can I become more innovative so I don't lose all my agents to some cloud brokerage, which they have faced a lot of losing agents to cloud brokerages. Now, by drastically reducing these fixed expenses, brokerages can reinvest savings directly into agent support, cutting edge technology, higher revenue share payouts, and more attractive commission structures. Agents benefit from higher earning potential, while brokerages enjoy improved financial health and scalability. See, it is much easier to go all 50 states as a cloud brokerage than it is to go all 50 states in a brick and mortar brokerage. Flexibility and remote work trends. Listen, recent global shifts like COVID have taught people that you don't need to be in the office. Now, I'm in my office. I love my office, but I don't need one. As a matter of fact, I just got into this office maybe 4 months ago. I've not had an office in 5 years. Don't need one. But I got one. My team wanted one. I had a couple partners that said, hey, let's get one together. And by the way, I love coming here and getting out of the house for a little bit, right? So recent global shifts towards remote work have accelerated agent adoption of cloud-based models. Real estate professionals increasingly prefer flexibility, seeking the freedom to work from anywhere without geographical constraints. It's interesting, isn't it? As long as you got Wi-Fi, you get some work done. Cloud brokerages such as EXP, Real, and LPT leverage virtual office platforms, mobile apps, and virtual meeting technologies, enabling seamless collaboration, training, and client meetings from home or on the go. The freedom provided by this remote infrastructure greatly improves agent productivity and work-life balance, directly contributing to retention and satisfaction. Now, cloud brokerages heavily invest in sophisticated proprietary technology solutions, including CRM systems, transaction management platforms, virtual offices such as EXP's Virtual World, EXP World. I was at EXP for about 3 years. I was never excited about logging into EXP World. As cool as it is, and as groundbreaking as it was when it came out, I couldn't access it unless I had my laptop and I had a strong Wi-Fi signal. And even then, I wasn't really excited about roadblocking my way to my broker's office. I just wanted to pick up the phone and call and go, which is one of the things I really enjoy at LPT Realty. Now, advanced training programs are also offered because they can go through Zoom or any other platform they have. They have AI-powered lead generation and follow-up systems. These tools offer unparalleled convenience, increased transaction speed, efficiency, and improved client experiences. Advantages traditional brokerages find challenging to replicate due to the legacy systems and slower technological advances and adaptation. Now, cloud brokerages easily scale operations and agent counts without significant financial strain. Their digital-first approach allows them to expand quickly across states and even international boundaries without the logistical and financial hurdles faced by traditional offices. The scalability drives exponential growth, enabling companies like EXP Realty and Real Brokerage and LPT Realty to rapidly increase their market share and agent count in remarkably short periods of time, which, by the way, LPT is kicking butt on, and we'll talk about that in a second. Now, there's a huge declining use of traditional offices. The traditional office usage in real estate has declined significantly, driven by several clear trends. Clients increasingly prefer online listings, virtual tours, video conferencing, digital document signing. These technologically driven conveniences have made physical office visits redundant in many cases for the clients. This is for the client, by the way. This is not for the realtor or the broker or the brokerage. It's for the client. The client doesn't want to come in. Agents no longer see physical office spaces as essential for their productivity. They realize that they can be more productive on the go. Now, I used to have an old broker. It was at a traditional brokerage, by the way, that used to say, if you're in the office, you ain't making money. You better get out there and get in front of people, right? The reliance on mobile and cloud technology has shifted their preference towards home offices and flexible co-working spaces. Many traditional brokerages have recognized the expense of maintaining physical office spaces outweighs their practical value, especially as foot traffic completely declines. Almost no one is walking into a real estate brokerage anymore. They Google it. brokerage profits can significantly increase by shifting to a cloud-based platform. Now, this is why cloud-based companies will continue to dominate as we continue to move forward. Number one is attraction and retention of top talent. The combination of superior technology, flexible working arrangements, higher earning potential through better revenue share, and transparent payout structures allow cloud brokerages to attract and retain top-tier real estate talent. Number two, rapid adaptability to market conditions. Cloud brokerages swiftly respond to market shifts due to their lean operational models. They quickly scale up or down, adjust commission structures, or pivot their technology offerings to meet evolving agents and consumer demands. You have that flexibility. Number three, continuous innovation. Because technology is at the core, cloud brokerages continuously innovate, deploying tools and enhance productivity and client experiences. This innovation cycle keeps them ahead of traditional competitors who struggle with older systems and slower innovation in cycles. Transparency and revenue sharing is the final number four. Transparency and trust are major selling points for a cloud brokerage company, particularly given concerns about revenue share buffering and payout caps for other firms. Brokerages like LPT Realty openly differentiate themselves by promoting transparent revenue share without hidden cuts or caps. So cloud brokerages are not merely a trend, ladies and gentlemen. And I remember when everybody was saying to me, cloud brokerages are a trend, guy. It's COVID. That's why they're popular. Everybody's going to want to go back to the office. Didn't happen that way. Not for any industry, by the way. Cloud brokerages are not merely a trend. They represent a fundamental shift in how real estate services are delivered and managed. With lower costs, better tools, and improved agent incentives, they continue to gain momentum, clearly positioning themselves as future leaders of the industry. Traditional real estate offices will increasingly face challenges keeping up, and cloud companies are emphasize flexibility, transparency, and technology will consistently lead the market. Again, maybe another reason why KW sold big share. Gary Keller said, let's raise a lot of money. Let's see what we can do different, right? Now let's get into LPT Realty. We've discussed EXP. We've discussed Real quite a bit and everything shifting over there. LPT Realty, founded in 2021 by entrepreneur Robert Palmer, has rapidly emerged as a transformating force in the real estate industry. Headquartered in Lake Mary, Florida, which is very close to Orlando, if you're not familiar, the company has expanded its presence to 50 states today, including Canada, 3 provinces in Canada. So we're already 50 states and international, reflecting its commitment to provide agents with innovative tools and opportunities. This is, of course, according to LPT Realty. LPT Realty distinguishes itself through its agent-centric model that offers flexible compensation plans, including the option to choose between traditional commission plan and a revenue sharing opportunity. This approach empowers agents to tailor their business strategies to their individual goals. The brokerage provides a suite of proprietary marketing tools, advanced technology platforms, and comprehensive training programs designed to enhance agent productivity and success. In December 2024, LPT Realty attracted California-based Big Block Realty, a brokerage with over $3 billion in annual sales. This strategic move expanded LPT Realty's market presence and reinforced its position as a leading player in the real estate sector. Now, I love this because Big Block Realty is in my downline. I'm a direct benefactor of this relationship between Big Block and LPT Realty, and a big fan of Sam, who is the CEO and founder of Big Block Realty. But that also extended to another opportunity with a top 500 brokerage, okay, a realty group led by Long and Mike, who came over with 600 agents and over 5,000 transactions last year. So one leader begets another leader and brings them consistently on. Before any of this happened, I had the honor and privilege of partnering up with my friend Tony Martinez and his beautiful wife, who came over with their company, Extreme Realty, here in South Florida, in the Broward County area, in the Davie area specifically, and brought over 130 agents with him. It's just been an enormous opportunity, and people are seeing these are traditional brokerages and independent brokerages with office space, with all the cost, all the overhead, all the pain, all the suffering of being a broker owner, and are realizing that the cloud brokerage opportunity is a strategic move for growth. It is not giving up their names or anything. It is a strategic move for growth. They understand that by coming to work with LPT or cloud brokerage, they understand that their opportunity to expand across multiple states and countries gets better and better and bigger and faster, right? And these opportunities continue to blow up. Now, Robert Palmer is the founder and CEO of LPT Realty. He's a seasoned entrepreneur with a background in real estate and mortgage industries. Prior to establishing LPT Realty, he founded RP Funding in 2008, a mortgage company that's become the leading name in home financing, renowned for its client-focused service. Get it? Client-focused service, agent-centric brokerage. Palmer's vision for LPT Realty centers on creating an unfair advantage for agents by providing them with cutting-edge technology, robust marketing tools like listing power tool packages, and supportive community, enabling them to thrive in any market. Okay. Under Palmer's leadership, LPT Realty has been recognized for its rapid growth and innovative approach, including being named the 2024 Most Innovative Brokerage by Inman. His commitment to agent success and industry innovation continues to drive the company's expansion and influence into the real estate landscape. Now, I've had the privilege of having a ton of conversations with Robert Palmer, affectionately known as RP, and I gotta tell you, man, everything RP says he's going to do with the company is hyper focused on how can my agents make more money by selling more real estate. That's what it's about, and I love that. I love that that is his entire focus, and he's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that happens. And I've seen, by the way, I've been here going on 2 years now, and it's been a wonderful ride. I think I'm like 800 agent, like 400 or 500 and something, whatever it is. And we're now almost 15,000 agents in just under 3 years. Incredible growth. All right. So revenue share programs, let's talk about them. They're the major attraction for cloud brokerages. Let's be 100% real, right? They promise passive income streams that incentivize agents to grow their companies. However, how these brokerages handle revenue share, especially at the higher tier earnings, significantly impacts the agent's actual earnings. So EXP Realty operates as a multi-tiered revenue share model, paying agents a percentage of the gross commission income, or GCI, generated by agents they've recruited directly and indirectly. However, as agents move up these tiers and their monthly revenue share earnings increase, EXP implements what's known as buffering strategy. Now, this is kind of old news, right? This was a practice that once an agent reaches a certain threshold of high revenue share earnings, EXP would incrementally reduce their payouts to these top performing agents. Sound familiar? How did they get rid of this? How did EXP get away from this? Well, they created Revenue Share 2.0. And that was supposed to adjust how these deliberate reductions in payout to the higher agents were done. And so it's supposed to be fair across the board now. It's still fairly new. Let's see how it works out. Hopefully it works out great for the agents. I got a lot of great friends over there that should be, they're earned every penny that they should be making, right? Real brokerage, their share adjustment buffering practices still in effect. Real brokerage employs a similar multi-tiered revenue share structure. Recent changes have made the program more accessible initially, allowing agents to unlock higher tiers with fewer direct recruits. Yet, similar to what EXP was doing before, Real brokerage also implements a buffering at higher payout levels. As agents climb revenue share tiers, Real begins systematically reducing payouts throughout caps and adjustments. This explains the notable discrepancy. Despite the dramatic raise in overall brokerage revenue of 93% year over year, the increase in agent revenue share payout lagged significantly behind at a 39% increase year over year. As agents approach higher revenue share levels, often top tier earners, payouts per recruit can reduce. The brokerage employs internal caps or ceilings to control these payouts, thereby increasing brokerage profits by indirectly taxing top earners. The growth gap between corporate revenue and agent payout signals that these buffering practices have become more aggressive, sparking agent concern about transparency and equity in distribution. Now, LPT's revenue share model and their no buffer promise. LPT Realty differentiates itself prominently by openly criticizing the buffering practices employed by some of the competitors and previous competitors. Founder Robert Palmer has publicly highlighted the ethical and financial concerns regarding buffering, positioning LPT Realty as more transparent and agent-focused. According to Palmer, LPT Realty's revenue share model explicitly rejects the idea of reduced payouts at higher revenue tiers. Instead, they maintain a consistent revenue share percentage regardless of how much an agent earns, allowing top producing agents to fully capitalize on their earning potential without penalization. So here's some key differentiators, right? No incremental buffering or capping of revenue share payments to higher earners because the tiers were built the right way from the beginning. And it's transparent and predictable revenue share payouts that remain stable, irrespective of an agent's revenue share growth. And you'll see certain things like, if I had to compare these pieces together, EXP Realty has a multi-tier revenue share model, no longer implementing buffers at higher tiers, and they have a moderate transparency system, right? Because they had the problem, okay? Real Brokerage has multi-tier that recently adjusted. Yes, they're capping and reducing higher earning tiers. And by the way it works is that it all gets proportionally put out. But of course, the higher earners, according to proportionately, right? The higher earners are going to see the biggest reductions, right? Lower transparency because of the rapidly widening gap in its revenue versus payout suggests very limited clarity in what's really happening at Real Brokerage. LPT Realty is multi-tier without that higher adjustment situation. There's it explicitly avoids reductions in payouts and has very high transparency, openly discussing the absence of buffering. So I wanted to give you this information because essentially attacks on high-performing agents to boost brokers' profitability, like EXP Realty used to do, Real Brokerage is doing now, utilizing the tactics to control expenses at top tiers, whereas LPT Realty explicitly rejects buffering as a part of its brand ethos. This critical distinction strongly influences agent satisfaction, retention, and brokerage loyalty, making it an essential consideration when agents choose their brokerage home. Now, I want to stop for a second and say thank you to our New World Title partners. New World Title, I'm a partner at New World Title. I'm the president of New World Title Texas, and I have been charged with the growth of Texas. But we are in Texas, Florida, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, and quite a few other places. We'll be launching Ohio soon. And so if you're looking for the best title partner out there, reach out to me. I'll put you in contact with the right person, the person that you should be speaking to in your state that is a part of New World Title. New World Title, it's not a company, it's a culture. Now, the real estate industry is undergoing significant transformation with the rise of cloud-based brokerages. Companies like EXP Realty, Real Brokerage, and LPT Realty are at the forefront of this, each offering unique revenue share models and growth strategies. As the industry evolves, these models will continue to shape the landscape, providing agents with diverse opportunities to maximize their earnings and adapt to the digital age. Now, this is happening, and you're gonna see it to continue to grow. I don't know, I have no idea what KW is gonna do with all this extra money that they just have flood in. I don't know what the new president CEO is going to do. I don't know what type of experience that person has in, in the consistent growth of a large brokerage like KW, specifically a franchise as such. I don't know if they're going to try to implement some sort of online situation or hybrid kind of situation. I don't know. And I don't know how that really helps them, because while everyone else is doing revenue share, KW does something called a profit share. And profit share is very specific to the actual office, the actual franchisee and their particular office, right? And so it's important to know that there's a huge difference there. The money is just not the same. You recruit 100 people to KW and 100 people to any of these cloud brokerages, and the cloud brokerage payout will beat it every single time. Now, EXP was the innovator of this revenue share model, but the truth is that KW started it with profit share, right? And that's where we first saw it. And then there were other companies that played along that. EXP changed the game. Now everybody's created a variation of it. There's only a few companies out there that are really, really, really booming, right? EXP continues to be the woolly mammoth, if you will, in the room, right? The elephant in the room, the space taker, the mean guys, right? But how long will that last? How long will it last before people start to see advantages at other places? How long will traditional companies like the Coldwell Bankers and the Century 21s and the Keller Williams and all these other companies, the Berkshire Hathaways of the world, how long will they stay around? And with LPT moving and creating the first ever online luxury brokerage that will be competitive with companies like Compass and Sotheby's and Engel & Volkers, how long will these traditional brokerages last? Will they be there forever? Right now, I think we're going to see them stick around for a little bit longer. But as time passes, we're beginning to see more and more youth saying, I don't really want to come to the office. I have no business being there. I'm okay working from a Starbucks, right? And as long as that happens, cloud brokerages will continue to take the move. Now, how these cloud brokerages grow and succeed, well, we just compared the main three, EXP, LPT, and Real. And we're starting to see that EXP had some hiccups. They made some changes. They implemented RevShare 2.0, right? They did things to make adjustments. Some people weren't happy, but they got it. They understood, right? And then you turn and you look at what's happening at Real right now, and there's a lot of disruption. There's just openly saying, hey, guys, we're taxing the hell out of you. And by the way, our president's stepping down. And by the way, I'm not sure that they have announced anybody yet. And so who's taking over, right? And so there's so many different things in the play here that Real is going through that I really have a feeling they're going to be losing some agents, especially top performers. And they're going to lose those top performers to companies like LPT Realty that offer a agent choice situation when it comes to commission, or whether or not you even want to do revenue share, or you don't want to do revenue share. They're offering free marketing material for every listing and billboards and commercials and homevalue.com and all this great stuff. And so you're going to see a lot of shifts happening really soon. Mark my words, 2025 will be the year of the shift. Now we're starting to see some other companies emerge and show their faces, but the numbers are not quite there yet. And so maybe in 2026 or 2027, we're having a very different conversation about who the top three are. But I can guarantee you, my word to God, LPT is going to always be in that top tier panel, and it's going to continue to grow. EXP is going to be a hard, woolly mammoth to knock over, okay? But it's not impossible, guys. It's been done before, not impossible. So pay attention to what's going on out there. Stop getting, if you don't listen, everything that I've said, I have sourced, right? So if you don't believe what I'm saying, just Google it, man. Go find real deal sources that you can get information from, right? Like I can look here and I can tell you, I'm getting my information from Google, but I'm getting it at Yahoo Finance. I'm getting it at NASDAQ. I'm getting it at Wall Street. I'm getting it in different places that I can say Bloomberg.com and the NASDAQ website. And like, this is where I'm getting my information. Okay. I'm getting my information from places that for sure are going to give me the right information. Okay. So that being said, publicly traded companies have all their information public. You don't believe what I'm saying about the numbers for real or the numbers for EXP or any of that, just go to their website, go to their public relations website, go see what they're publicly putting out to the public. Match it to what I'm saying. If I'm wrong, make a comment, say, hey, Dave, you're wrong. Give me the link to that. I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong, but I'm reading all this stuff. I'm checking all this stuff. I'm all over ChatGPT. I'm on Gemini. I'm on Google. I'm on Yahoo. I'm everywhere trying to figure this out. And I spent quite some time getting this podcast put together for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it brought you a wealth of knowledge. When you're deciding what company to go with, pay attention to the things that are happening at the company. Don't just base it on the cool person that talked to you and you like them and they're going to help you and this and that. Remember, where you hang your license matters. And who you associate yourself with matters. 100%. I will say that no matter what. And although when we look at companies like LPT that are not so focused on revenue share, but they offer it, right? They're agent centric. LPT is all about how can we do more deals, which makes me very happy because I'm into revenue share. And if I'm into revenue share, it is extremely important that we do more deals because it's the only way I get paid. I don't get paid on some other payments. I get paid when people sell real estate, right? So we want our company selling a ton of real estate so that it appeases everyone. The real estate salesperson, the one that likes going house to house and selling homes, to the person that's hybrid and likes selling homes and earning revenue share, to the person who's all about revenue share. Let's make everybody happy. And let's create a place in the world and an environment where you never have to go anywhere else. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this podcast, share it with somebody who needs to hear it. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you check out our companies, David Adam Kurz Companies and the Freedom Organization and now New World Title. We love you guys. Be safe out there. Talk to y'all soon.